After 65, peace of mind becomes more valuable than gold, but did you know some things are better left unsaid, even to family? What you reveal could ruin your peace. Stay with me as we uncover the 5 secrets you should never share with family if you want a truly peaceful life. Before we dive in, I want to ask you something important. Are you someone who values wisdom, peace, and dignity in your golden years? Then this channel is made just for you. We bring thoughtful advice for seniors who want to live smarter, calmer, and happier. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. Don't forget to like this video if you find it helpful. It really supports the channel. Leave a comment to share your thoughts or personal experience. And finally, share this with a friend or loved one over 60. It might help them protect their peace too. Now let's uncover the first secret you must keep for a more peaceful life. Secret 1. Never share your full financial situation. As we grow older, the importance of peace, dignity, and independence becomes clearer than ever. For those of us aged 65 and beyond, the golden years are meant to be a time of calm reflection, quiet joy, and freedom from unnecessary burdens. One of the greatest threats to that peace, surprisingly, can come from sharing too much, especially when it comes to finances. It may seem harmless, even responsible, to disclose all the details of your bank accounts, retirement funds, pensions, or investments to your children or close relatives. After all, they're family, right? Shouldn't they know everything in case something happens to you? While that may seem practical on the surface, sharing your full financial situation can quietly invite stress, pressure, and even conflict into your life. Money, even among the most loving families, can stir up emotions that have nothing to do with love. When your children or relatives know every detail of your finances, it can unintentionally shift how they interact with you. They may begin to offer unsolicited advice about how you should spend, or save, your money. Some might make suggestions that benefit them more than you. Others may begin to see your money as theirs in waiting, which can lead to subtle shifts in behavior, expectations, and even entitlement. None of this may happen maliciously, but it happens more often than people admit. What starts as a well-intentioned conversation can evolve into a source of tension that eats away at your peace of mind. By keeping your financial cards close, you're not being secretive, you're being wise. It's not about mistrust. It's about maintaining your independence. When you're the sole manager of your resources, you retain full control over your decisions without the weight of others' opinions. You don't need to justify why you took that trip, helped a neighbor, or treated yourself to something special. Your money is a tool to support your lifestyle, health, and happiness, not a family discussion topic. And when you do need to share, you can do it selectively and strategically. Not out of guilt or habit. Furthermore, open financial discussions can create discomfort among siblings or relatives. Let's say you choose to help one child financially. If the others know your full financial position, it may create jealousy or comparison. Suddenly, your generous gesture becomes a source of family drama. Even small amounts can stir big emotions when money is involved. By keeping your financial matters private, you prevent misunderstandings before they even begin. So what should you do instead? Quietly organize your finances with a trusted financial advisor or legal professional. Prepare your will, name your beneficiaries, and designate a power of attorney, all without needing to share every detail. Make sure your documents are up to date, and let your loved ones know you've taken care of everything, without opening your books for review. This protects you now and gives them peace of mind later. If you want to leave behind a financial legacy, great, do it thoughtfully and legally, not conversationally. Also, consider maintaining a simple one-page letter or document with key information, like where important documents are stored, who your financial advisor is, and any final wishes. This provides clarity without compromising your current peace. You're not hiding, you're managing. You're not excluding your family, you're protecting them from stress and yourself from overexposure. And let's not ignore the emotional aspect. Many seniors feel the urge to overshare because of loneliness, fear, or the desire to stay relevant in their family's lives. But your value to your family is not based on what you have, it's based on who you are. You are their parent, grandparent, elder, a source of love, guidance, and stories. not a bank account to be audited. When you maintain personal boundaries, you preserve your role as a respected figure, not just a resource. Peace at this stage in life is about balance. You've earned the right to live without second-guessing every financial decision or feeling like you need approval. Your money, your choices. You worked hard for decades. It's okay to enjoy the fruits of your labor without guilt. Questions or commentary. Share laughter, wisdom, and meals with your family, but think twice before sharing the spreadsheet. Because in the end, your greatest legacy won't be measured in dollars. It will be measured in the calm, the wisdom, and the love you brought into the room each time you entered it. Let your golden years truly be golden, not gilded with anxiety. Choose privacy. Choose control. Choose peace. And remember, what you don't say can often protect your happiness far more than what you do. Secret 2. Don't reveal all past regrets or mistakes. Growing older brings a unique kind of wisdom, one shaped not only by success but by mistakes, regrets, and lessons learned over a lifetime. For many seniors, especially after the age of 65, there's a natural urge to reflect and share the deeper truths of life with family. You may feel a strong desire to confess past missteps, explain old decisions, or revisit emotional moments you wish had played out differently. While this impulse is deeply human, and even healing in the right context, there are times when revealing all your past regrets or mistakes to your children or relatives can do more harm than good. The truth is, not every scar needs to be shown. And not every confession brings peace. In fact, some words, once spoken, can stir emotional waters that are best left still. Your past is rich and layered, filled with choices made in different times, under different circumstances. But your family, especially younger generations, may lack the full context to understand those choices. What you view as a story of growth, they might hear as disappointment or failure. For example, sharing regrets about how you raised your children, or decisions made during a difficult marriage, might be intended as honesty, but could be interpreted as guilt or even blame. You may hope to find closure, but instead cause confusion or emotional strain. Sometimes, sharing these regrets makes your children feel like they somehow failed you, even when that's far from the truth. The unintended impact can linger, creating emotional weight for your loved ones that they don't know how to carry. It's also important to consider timing. In the later stages of life, your family wants to see you happy, at peace, and fulfilled. They want to celebrate your presence, your resilience, and your enduring love. Deep personal confessions, while meaningful in some situations, can overshadow the joy and lightness that many family members are trying to preserve. Not because they don't care, but because they're not sure how to respond. They may feel helpless, burdened, or even awkward, not knowing whether to comfort you, fix something, or just listen in silence. It can create emotional distance rather than closeness. Of course, sharing wisdom from your life is a beautiful gift. But wisdom doesn't require reopening every wound or reliving every regret. You can teach, guide, and inspire without unloading every painful detail. Consider the difference between a life lesson and a confession. One uplifts and empowers. The other, while honest, may overwhelm or dishearten. If there are things from your past that still feel heavy, consider writing them down privately. A personal journal or letter, kept for yourself or to be opened after your passing, can offer a powerful release without complicating your present relationships. In some cases, speaking with a counselor or trusted spiritual advisor may help bring peace without involving family who may not be prepared for the emotional weight. Remember, your value is not in being perfect, nor in being entirely transparent. It's in being present, loving, and wise. Your family doesn't need to know every chapter of your story in order to love and respect you. They are already shaped by your goodness, your strength, and your presence in their lives. Instead of focusing on the regrets, emphasize what you've learned and how you've grown. Share the insights, not the injuries. Reflect on how far you've come, not just where you stumbled. This approach inspires your family and gives them a picture of aging that is rich in grace, resilience, and hope. There's also a sacred power in forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness. Many elders carry guilt for things that happened decades ago, long after others have forgotten or healed. Forgiving yourself doesn't always require an audience. Sometimes it's something that happens in a quiet moment of prayer, or while watching a sunset, or during a walk in nature. That peace, earned through years of living and learning, is yours to hold gently. Let your presence be a source of comfort, not confusion. Let your stories bring laughter, not sorrow. Let your eyes reflect serenity, not sadness. Your role now is to be the lighthouse, steady, glowing, and calm, not a thunderstorm of past regrets. If something truly needs to be said, if it brings healing and closeness, then speak with care, intention, and love. But remember, many regrets are better laid to rest than spoken aloud. In your golden years, you owe yourself gentleness. You've lived through storms, and now it's time to enjoy the sunshine. Keep the lessons. Release the guilt. And choose peace over confession. Your legacy will be shaped by the love you give today, not the regrets you carried yesterday. Secret 3. Avoid discussing who you plan to leave what. One of the most sensitive, and often misunderstood, topics among families is inheritance. For those of us over 65, it's natural to start thinking about legacy. You've spent a lifetime building your resources, gathering keepsakes, and preserving family history. You may want to make sure that the things you've loved and cared for go to the right hands when you're gone. But here's the truth many seniors learn too late: talking openly about what you plan to leave to whom can unintentionally sow seeds of conflict, jealousy, and division in your family. The very conversations meant to express care can, if mishandled, damage relationships, create resentment, and disturb the peace you've worked so hard to protect. You might feel a sense of duty to be transparent with your children or family members about your estate plans. You may think that by telling them now who will receive what, you're being fair and honest. But families are complicated. Even among loving siblings, emotions around inheritance can be surprisingly intense. What seems like a thoughtful decision to you might feel like favoritism to someone else. For instance, leaving a treasured piece of jewelry to one daughter, and not the other, or assigning a family home to one child while the others get money, can open doors to painful comparisons. Instead of feeling honored, your loved ones may feel hurt, overlooked, or even betrayed. When these topics are discussed while you're still alive, they tend to become emotional battlegrounds. Family members may begin to see each other as competitors rather than companions. They might try to sway your decisions or question your choices. Even worse, some may start acting differently around you, offering extra kindness not out of love, but out of hope for a larger share. This can damage the genuine bonds of love that should be at the center of your family. You've lived long enough to know that money and possessions, while useful, should never come between people who care about each other. So how can you handle this gracefully? The answer lies in two powerful tools: privacy and preparation. Instead of making verbal promises or holding group discussions about who gets what, take your intentions to a trusted legal advisor. Create a will or trust that clearly outlines your wishes. Appoint a responsible executor. Make sure the legal documents reflect your values and are worded carefully to avoid ambiguity. And most importantly, keep these arrangements private unless absolutely necessary. This not only protects you from manipulation or pressure, but it also prevents misunderstandings among your loved ones. You may wonder if the secrecy seems cold or detached, but it's quite the opposite. You're sparing your family from unnecessary stress. You're allowing your children to continue relating to one another without suspicion or comparison. By not revealing your estate plans, you protect the joy of family gatherings from being clouded by unspoken questions about who will receive what. You maintain the dignity of your final wishes and preserve the peace of your present relationships. There's also the emotional burden that comes with knowing too much. If one child knows they're receiving more, or less, than another, it can alter the dynamic immediately. Even if they try to hide it, that knowledge can change how they speak to you, how they relate to each other, and how they see the future. And once that change happens, it's hard to undo. Silence in this case isn't about hiding, it's about holding space for love to remain untouched by material concerns. Of course, if a family heirloom holds deep emotional value, you can discuss it gently in private, perhaps explaining why it's meaningful, and why you've chosen to pass it on. But let these be one-on-one conversations of love, not announcements. Avoid phrases like "I think you deserve this more" or "you've done more for me." Such words, though honest, can create division. Focus instead on stories, memories, and gratitude. Also, consider writing a legacy letter or memory note alongside your will. This isn't a legal document, but a personal message in your own words, expressing love, explaining choices, and sharing what you hope each family member carries forward. These heartfelt messages often mean more than any object or dollar amount ever could. They help your family understand your heart, even when you're no longer there to explain. At this stage in life, your most valuable gift isn't a possession, it's peace. Your presence, your love, your calm spirit, those are the treasures your family truly needs. Don't let things meant to bring comfort become causes of pain. The less you say now about who gets what, the more room there is for laughter, storytelling, and connection. Let your legacy be one of unity, not rivalry. Choose quiet preparation over open conversation. Let love guide your planning. And trust that your family will appreciate your wisdom, even if they never know all the details. Because sometimes, the kindest thing you can do is to speak less and love more. Secret 4. Don't share your opinions on your children's. One of the most difficult lessons to learn as we grow older is knowing when to speak, and when to stay silent, especially when it comes to the lives of our children and grandchildren. After 65, you've seen the world change, raised a family, experienced loss, love, hardship, and joy. Your wisdom is hard-earned, and your insights are valuable. But when it comes to the personal choices your children or grandchildren are making, whether it's about relationships, careers, parenting styles, or even lifestyle habits, offering your opinions can backfire, often causing more tension than growth. As much as you may want to help, sharing your disapproval or unsolicited advice can damage the very relationships you treasure most. The urge to share our thoughts comes from a place of love. When you see a child making a choice you don't agree with, perhaps marrying someone you think isn't right for them, or choosing a career path that seems unstable, it's natural to worry. You want to protect them. You want to guide them, just as you did when they were younger. But there comes a point when silence is the greater wisdom. Adult children want to be treated as equals, not as someone still needing correction. Even the softest suggestion can feel like judgment if it touches a sensitive topic, and with grandchildren, the situation can be even more delicate. You may see them being raised in ways very different from how you parented your own kids, different rules, different values, different technologies. Maybe they're being given too much freedom, or not enough discipline. Maybe you don't agree with how much time they spend on devices, or the food they eat, or the way they speak. But voicing these concerns, especially in front of their parents, can cause defensiveness and distance. It may seem like a small comment to you, but to your children, it might feel like you're questioning their entire approach to parenting. The result: you may find yourself being kept at arm's length. Invitations become less frequent. Conversations stay surface level. Over time, the open and loving relationship you cherish starts to fade, not because you don't care, but because the ones you love feel criticized instead of supported. It's a painful irony. In trying to stay close through advice, you may actually push people further away. So what should you do instead? Practice the quiet art of presence over opinion. Let your love speak louder than your words. Be the steady, calming influence in your family's life. Offer unconditional support without judgment. When a family member shares something personal with you, a decision, a struggle, a dream, listen fully. Don't rush to fix it or redirect it. Just be there. Ask gentle questions if they invite them, but avoid the temptation to instruct. People rarely forget how someone made them feel. If you make your family feel safe, accepted and respected, they'll keep coming back to you, not just in times of trouble, but in moments of joy. Of course, there may be times when your advice is truly needed, when someone asks for your opinion or guidance. In those moments, choose your words with care. Speak not from a place of authority, but from a place of shared experience. Use phrases like "in my experience," or "what worked for me was," rather than "you should," or "that's a mistake." Your role isn't to steer their ship, but to be the lighthouse that helps them see the shore more clearly. It's also important to trust in the foundation you've laid. The values you taught your children, the love you gave, the lessons you modeled, those seeds are there. Even if the results look different than you expected. Each generation is shaped by a new world, and their choices reflect their time. Your role now is not to correct the course, but to walk beside them with grace. In your golden years, peace comes not from control, but from release. Let go of the need to be right. Let go of the fear that silence means neglect. Let your family live their lives while you live yours with dignity, wisdom, and joy. And when you feel the need to speak out, pause. Ask yourself, will these words bring us closer, or drive us apart? If you're unsure, choose silence. Let your love fill the room instead, because at the end of the day, your family won't remember every opinion you had, but they will always remember the warmth in your smile, the comfort in your presence, and the strength of your quiet support. Secret 5. Don't talk about your fears of aging or dying too often. After the age of 65, life begins to slow down in ways both beautiful and sobering. There's more time to reflect, to rest, to observe the world from a gentler pace. But with this season of life often come private thoughts that carry emotional weight, fears about aging, health concerns, loneliness, and the eventual reality of death. These feelings are normal, even natural. But sharing them too often or too openly with your family, especially your children and grandchildren, can unintentionally become a burden they're not prepared to carry. While you may only be seeking comfort, your repeated worries can create emotional distance and sorrow in those who love you most. Your family treasures your presence. To them, you are a symbol of strength, tradition, and safety. You are the person they look to for reassurance, warmth, and a reminder of where they come from. When you begin to speak too often about your declining health, your fears of becoming a burden, or your thoughts about death, it can create a quiet kind of grief in their hearts, a slow ache that they may not know how to express. They may smile and nod, but inside they're struggling. They don't want to imagine a life without you, and constant reminders of your mortality may cause anxiety and fear instead of understanding. The truth is, most of your loved ones are not equipped to emotionally process these conversations. Especially if they come up frequently. They may withdraw, change the subject, or visit less often, not because they don't love you, but because they feel helpless. They don't know how to respond to such raw vulnerability. It puts them in the uncomfortable position of trying to offer comfort they don't know how to give. And over time, this can lead to a sense of emotional exhaustion that pushes people away, even when their hearts long to be close. This doesn't mean you should suppress your feelings or pretend everything is fine. It simply means choosing the right spaces and people to share those deep fears with. A trusted friend in your age group, a spiritual advisor, a therapist, or even a support group of seniors may be better suited to hold those emotions with empathy and understanding. They've walked similar roads. They know the aches and shadows that come with this stage of life. Sharing your fears in these safe spaces can bring comfort without placing emotional weight on your family. Instead of filling conversations with worry, try to fill them with light. Share stories, laughter, and wisdom. Tell your grandchildren about your childhood, your first job, or the time you made a mistake and learned something valuable. Let your children see you engaged with life, still curious, still interested in the world around you. This doesn't mean pretending you're not aging, it means showing that aging is not the end of joy, but a different expression of it. Your attitude can shape the way your family sees growing older. You can teach them that even as the body slows down, the heart can remain full and alive. When the time does come for more serious conversations about your end-of-life wishes, your medical preferences, or your final arrangements, have them with clarity, purpose, and peace. Make them brief and to the point. Reassure your loved ones that you've made your decisions out of love, to make things easier for them, not to add sadness to their lives. Then let those conversations rest, returning the focus to the life you are still living, not the life you're preparing to leave, because what your family wants more than anything is to enjoy their time with you. They want to sit by your side, laugh at old memories, share holidays, watch their children play in your living room, and feel your presence not as a shadow of worry, but as a light of comfort. Every moment you choose joy over fear is a gift to them. Every time you meet them with curiosity instead of complaint, they feel safe. And when they feel safe around you, they come back again and again, so speak carefully. Let your fears be heard, but not dominate. Let your honesty be balanced with hope. Let your life, even now, be a testament to resilience, dignity, and peace. You've earned the right to be loved without pity, to be cared for without being a burden, and to be remembered not for your fears, but for the warmth you brought into every room. You are still writing your story, and the best gift you can give your family is to fill these final chapters with light, strength, and the kind of presence they'll carry in their hearts long after you're gone. Conclusion: as we grow older, peace becomes the most precious treasure of all. These 5 secrets are not about hiding, they're about protecting your heart, your dignity, and your family's unity. If even one of these lessons spoke to your soul, or helped you reflect more deeply, we invite you to share your thoughts. Which lesson touched you the most? Have you experienced something similar? Your wisdom matters. Please comment below, like this video if it helped you, subscribe for more heartfelt guidance, and share it with a friend who needs this gentle reminder today. Your voice could inspire someone else's peace.